Hey guys, welcome back. Tisha here, back for another Sister Wives Season 11 review. Let me start off by saying that I feel like Leon did this on purpose in the way that they informed Meri. Hear me out. Leon has every right to tell their truth the way that they want to, but how hard would it have been to give their mother the notice or a heads up before deciding to, one, do this on camera, and to do this with all the other parents? Leon was still mad at their mom for what they did to poor Cody. Remember during that visit back when they were in Utah, when Leon and Meri were together, there was a clip where you heard Leon saying that there's something that's going on currently in my life that I wish I could tell my mom, but I can't because of this situation. I no longer feel like that is a safe space for me to go to. I don't trust, my mom. My mom has betrayed me. And this very much so was the situation. They knew that this would shock their mom. And I think that not only did they want to tell their truth, but I feel like they wanted Meri to feel further the weight of her actions. I want to start off before I really get into it by saying that if I use the wrong description as a way to describe Leon, if I use the wrong pronoun, please forgive me. It is not intentional. I looked over my notes once, thought I was okay, looked at them a second time, saw that there were some wrong pronouns there, and I'm like, okay, charge it to my head, not my heart. I in no way mean to disrespect Leon and how Leon identifies or anyone in the community. Because that negates what I said. Just forgive me if I say the wrong thing. So we pick up the episode with a nervous Leon announcing to the parents that they are gay. Janelle says, "Oh, honey, I thought you were going to tell us that you have cancer." And she chuckles. And at the time, I chuckled too, because I'm like, okay, Janelle, out of all things, this is what you thought this announcement was going to be? You hear Christine and Robin say, "Are you serious?" I pushed pause intentionally on the TV screen because I wanted to see the facial expressions of Meri and Cody. Meri looked shocked and Cody looked a little perturbed, a little annoyed, a little like, okay, we're really doing this on TV. You guys tell me what you think if you have gone back and watched the episode or if you remember, because I could be reaching here. Leon says, "Yes, I'm serious." Janelle says, "You seem so happy over the last few months." You see Christine's mom, Annie, hugging Leon, saying that this is awesome. Robin and Janelle get up to also hug Leon as Cody and Meri are sitting there. Cody is saying that, Christine was too, that Leon dropped this bomb and as a result, they're processing it. I'm glad Leon did not talk in circles like they sometimes tend to do. And I'm thankful that Leon just got to the point. Meri says it's unexpected and she truly didn't see it coming. That she's surprised that Leon has known for as a while and didn't tell her. But I'm not surprised, not only because of the situation that Meri and Leon are currently in, but because this is something scary. When you talk to people about this is not something that they find easy to say. I have a really close friend that came out to us after college, and I had my suspicions here and there. I thought he might have been bisexual, but he came out later and told us something different. And we had different talks and things of that nature. And even though he knew that a lot of us would accept him, there were things that he was worried about, and we were all in a great place. So sometimes it really isn't about the fact that you're you get along great with these people. It's what are they going to think once they know this about me? Christine wants to know when Leon knew. Leon said, deep down, it's always been there, that I've pushed it away, and it was one of my biggest fears. I was told it was wrong and I'd be a bad person. I was told that I was homophobic because of how scared I was of who I am. I feel, looking back now, a lot of what we saw with Leon being so heavily involved in the church and wanting to be here and not move there, wanting to be in the church school and all these other things, was Leon trying to rid themselves of feelings that I personally do not believe that they could rid themselves of. Feel free to, say your thoughts down in the comment section, but I'd like to remind us to please be considerate of others when we're making certain comments. I know that this is a hot topic, but one of the things that I love about this channel is, for the most part, there's been very little disrespectful interactions, okay? We can agree to disagree, and we can do so respectfully. As they talk, you see Meri holding Leon's hand. So even though she does come off as selfish in certain parts of this episode, I do believe that Meri was trying to support Leon in the best way that they could. Leon continues to talk and say, I've been told my whole life by other family members and other church members that being gay is bad. Because as early as age 12, I remember being attracted and liking someone who looked like me. Cody says it's not easy when our religion dominates our thoughts. And I agree with Cody on that. I feel like a lot of people's convictions have nothing to do with their personal beliefs, but it has to do with what they were taught. Leon admits if they stayed in Utah, then more than likely they would have probably married a man, had a lot of kids, and been unhappy despite how they were feeling. Cody says, did you have a lot of crushes on girls then? I mean, what do you think? If this person is telling you that they had all these different feelings and they realized they can remember at 12 years old being attracted to a young lady, then yes, they had crushes on various points on various people at different times, and they were just suppressing it, which means these are feelings that have been brewing for a long time, and it took a long time for Leon to come to this conclusion. Leon says what happened was, in their psych of women class, which ended up being a very favorite class of theirs, that it caused them to open their eyes, that they were sitting next to one of their friends in class and they were having a discussion about same-sex relationships. And while they were having that discussion, Leon found out that their friend liked women of the same sex, that they liked people of the same sex as them. And as a result, while Leon heard this, Leon started thinking, okay, I could date this girl, which made Leon be like, I could date this girl. And they didn't understand where that was coming from. But the fact that it was a thought made them further dig, and then made them further, look into themselves. And over the weekend, they thought a lot about it and came to the conclusion like, yes, I'm attracted to her. Not only am I attracted to her, but I'm attracted to women. I'm not attracted to men. She admits to taking time to process it all before telling them, because Leon wanted to make sure, Leon admits to taking time to processing everything before telling them, because Leon wanted to make sure that this is how they truly felt. And the bird says, I'm so proud of you. Now, in my opinion, these were fake tears. Maybe they were genuine. I don't know. But the bird and Janelle, automatically, you could tell that they didn't have a problem with it in this scene and that they were going to support Leon. Janelle says, it took so much guts to do this, and it really did, because Leon, as I said, could have told them off camera, but for whatever reason, they told them on the show. Cody says, we're a traditional family, and because Leon knows themselves and is willing to admit who they are, that takes guts and it's something to be celebrated. Based on the way Cody is no longer involved with Leon, I feel like a lot of this was for the show. You all let me know, because I feel like there is a difference between acceptance and tolerance. I think that he tolerated this aspect of Leon, but I don't think that he ever truly accepted it. You all let me know what you think. Meri wishes that she knew what was going on in the past year and feels bad. Leon says that Robin helped the most because Robin was the first person that she met that said it was okay to be gay, that she's the first person that she met that actually had gay friends. I, in that moment, was actually impressed with how compassionate and loving the bird seemed to be during this announcement, but I don't recall seeing the bird bring people who identify themselves as gay on this show or hanging out with them. I could be wrong. You all let me know. Meri, on the other hand, didn't seem to handle this in a good manner. It didn't look good for Meri. Robin said that she was happy because Leon realizes who they are, and that is all they ever really want for their kids. Do I really believe this? I'm not sure. Robin isn't Leon's mom. Her reaction was natural with regards to the dynamic that Leon and Robin had. I feel like some of that may have been because of the cameras being around. They both have had to own who they are, according to Robin, as far as them having to own that they're polygamous and Leon having to own that they're gay. And as this is going on, Leon has discovered pieces of who they are and took out the pieces of who they are not. And she feels like they have done the same thing. You see Cody hug Leon finally after all this time and say that he's just glad that they're comfortable owning their truth and that they feel safe with him. Meri says Cody has always had this way of connecting with Leon in a way that she hasn't. He makes Leon feel loved and cared for and safe. That makes me kind of question what exactly Meri was doing in the past that did not make Leon feel this way, because if I remember correctly, they at once had a very close relationship. Cody has claimed to have the thought back in 2002, after having 15 children, that at one point he may have some children who are gay. And he felt like with a lot of thought and processing that he was going to love his children no matter what. And that was what was going to happen on his watch. And I wonder what changed that, because over the years, we've seen him not love his children no matter what. We've seen him have conditions as to how he would love them. I guess he doesn't consider them children after a certain age. You see Meri embrace Leon and say, I love you. It's now another day, and Meri is still trying to process things. She feels bad because she didn't see the struggle that Leon was going through. Their relationship is strained, and as a result, she can't talk to Leon about it. And I'm like, okay, you're acting like you don't get why it's strained. It's because of the catfish. Leon feels betrayed by Meri. Leon gets on my nerves, but I get why Meri would not be a safe place for them. Meri decides to have Cody come over, despite their struggles and understanding of each other when they talk, and Robin. This doesn't make sense to me. But she says Robin is there because Robin helps them understand one another. Not one of the other wives who have been married to this man for over 20 years, but she wants Robin, which further explains why her and Cody have had so many problems over the years, because you've entered this other person who's supposed to talk Cody, who's supposed to help with all these situations and insert themselves when sometimes I feel like the addition of Robin made things worse. Robin, according to Meri, helps her understand way better. Robin tells us in confessional that when there are problems with the sister wives, it ripples through the family as well as the husband. So sometimes you'll have another person coming to help. This is foolish. And over the years, we've heard from the other wives, especially Janelle, that they feel that this is foolish, that it shows that there's a bigger problem if you have to do this. Cody comes in. They're originally sitting on the couches. He doesn't want to sit on the couches because he's tired of having certain conversations on the couches. So he wants to move to, I think it's like the wet bar portion. They have chairs around. But Meri doesn't want to move there. Meri feels uncomfortable sitting there. She wants to sit in the couches. Everything is an issue. The bird suggests moving to a different table by the window. Cody says no. He doesn't want to sit there because it's too cold. Meri doesn't want to move now because Cody doesn't want to move. And as she's sitting there, she begins to cry. It's so much dysfunction that this just doesn't make sense. These people have lied to us for years. At this point, it's so blatantly clear they don't like each other. Meri says she doesn't know how to deal with Leon. Everyone was happy and joyful, and she was just shocked. And she's saying this with tears. Meri feels like she couldn't say anything because of where she currently is with Leon, and she wants to know, how was it that they were sitting there and they were so happy and they were smiling when it came to Leon's announcement. And Cody says, we're not happy for Leon. I was like, that. Well, he's telling his truth right there. He says, we're not happy. We're not happy for Leon. We're happy that they know themselves. He adds, I'm happy that Leon was born in this family because they feel safe with me. It's always at some point about Cody, and it's even sometimes at some point about Meri. Meri, to me, put the family first more, but I notice how those two individuals make it about themselves so often that might be another reason why they bump heads. We're told that most Christian families or other religious families would not accept Leon. Leon would not be safe with them after this announcement. Apparently, Cody lets us know that when he courted Robin, he realized that Robin had a bunch of gay friends. And that became an issue. So because that was an issue for him there, it made him have to address some things. I don't know how much I believe that story. I really don't. But as I said, at this point, I had kind of checked out of the show. So if you all know if that's true, let me know down below. He feels that being gay is condemned by the scriptures, but he realizes that it's not his job to condemn, but it's his job to love. Robin saw the joy in Leon, and this is the main thing that they want for kids. So their kids. So Robin felt like she couldn't help but be happy for Leon. Meri doesn't understand how there could be weddings and babies, and the bird talks about making juice, which is like, okay, basically getting a surrogate or something like that, something of that sort, some type of donation from a male for them to have kids. I just feel like, why are we talking about this? Of all things with this announcement, this is what we're going to talk about. So Meri is struggling to wrap their head around it. Leon said it took years for them to figure it out, to understand and accept that they were gay. It took them years. So it is very unrealistic for me as a viewer to think that Meri should just be happy, jumping for joy, accepting all those other things within minutes of her announcement, of their announcement. I'm sure that this would take time to process things for Meri. I do, however, feel like Meri made this more about herself than she did about Leon and Leon's discovery. Robin lets us know that she imagines Leon coming home. Oh, I'm sorry. I imagine Leon coming home with someone that they absolutely love and adore. And once Meri processes this, it's going to be okay, and she will too. Like, wow, this is really like, this is really dramatic. And even with that in the face, no tears fell. She's really, really good at this. Robin says, I think it's good that you're talking to us about this because all Leon needs from you right now is acceptance. And I wish that for once that Meri truly did actually listen to the bird, because the bird at this current moment is right, given the state of their relationship, that this is all that Leon needed from Meri was acceptance. Meri says she does accept it. Robin says, avoid showing Leon these thoughts. If you want to talk about this stuff, you talk about this stuff with adults. Talk to Leon when Leon is ready and when you're ready. Meaning, don't come to Leon with all of this stuff. Come to Leon when you're in a true acceptance stage where you don't have all these unnecessary questions and where you could just exist. Meri thanks them, Cody and Robin, for their support and how they were there for Leon, because in that moment she couldn't. She wants to talk to Leon about it, and she doesn't know how to, and she doesn't like the fact that Leon has been going to Robin and being excited about it with Robin instead of her. We find out that Leon went to Robin after announcing the situation to speak more about it. I think that would have happened whether she was in a good place with Meri or not, whether they were in a good place with Meri or not, because at that time, supposedly, Robin had the friends. So Robin was more involved with the community, supposedly, than Meri was. So, of course, there's certain things that maybe Leon felt Robin could answer. The Bald Eagle says that Leon just wants space. Meri wants to get deep and be intense, but her intensity can be off-putting to Leon in this case. Just like very much so, very often, Meri's intensity is off-putting to Cody. They didn't like Meri. They tolerated Meri. It's vacation time. They're using this time to not only have vacation before the kids got to go back to school, but to get to know Tony better. They arrive at this summer mountain lodge in Utah, I believe it was. Cody says that he wants them to buy it because of how big it is. Meri chimes in and says that, oh yeah, good. We can all four live together again. And Cody makes a face. Janelle jokes about how this looks like a polygamy house because of all the bedrooms and the narrow halls, and the wives agree. Cody assigns where people are going to be sleeping, and he suggests that Peyton sleep in one of the yurts because of the size and the bed. It looks like this tent structure that they have the bed and stuff in that's outside of the lodge area. You have to walk out of the lodge to go to it. And Christine says, how about Caleb and Maddie sleep in one of them, since they are, newly married? Leon makes a joke asking about if the walls are thin, and then decides not to say it in front of the parents. Cody says, married people have sex. Let's just keep it tasteful. Caleb is happy to be separated, to get away from all the commotion, as well as have time with his wife. We then see Leon sitting off to the side. We hear Meri saying that one of Leon's favorite things to do is just sit and be. So Meri decides to take this opportunity to not let Leon sit and be. If you know that Leon likes to just sit and enjoy the beauty of the mountains, to just sit in their thoughts, then leave Leon alone. Or sit beside Leon without having conversation, without making this about you and how you're processing things and all those other stuff. So this is part of where I felt that Meri was selfish. Meri says Leon isn't really a talker, and with the strain that they currently have, this makes it harder. She apologizes to Leon for not giving the reaction or the response that Leon was expecting. And Leon says, thanks. One word, very just thanks. Leon adds in confessional that they said thanks because that's all they had to say, that there is more to this, but they don't feel like it has to do with them coming out. They do not have the best relationship, and this situation with them coming out has just made things more complicated. I agree with Leon. Meri says, you do know that I'm 100% supportive of you, don't you? Leon hesitates, says, I guess. adds, you were silent. I tried to ask you what was wrong. Meri says, nothing was wrong. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to be offensive, but I do want to say some things like, she's just really flustered. She said, I'm trying to learn here. In this moment, Meri should have just left it at, I accept you, and when you're ready to talk, come to me so that we can talk about it. She adds, I want to understand the process of this, Leon. I want to know you again. Robin told her not to do this, but yet here she is and she's doing it. Leon says, it was personal and it's not something that I want to talk about. I told you guys already what I wanted to tell you all. Meri says, and see, and that's, I want to know more. This isn't about Meri, and that's the part that Meri is missing. Your child said, I told you what I already felt comfortable telling you. So for now, your child is letting you know, this is all I have for you. I'm still trying to process this myself. Can you just leave it at that? Meri says, I don't understand. I want you to know I'll back you no matter what. Leon says, I appreciate it. I really do. Once again, Meri is trying to force this. Cody says, this may be deeper than Leon coming out. The conversation with Meri and Leon was so cringy, and Leon looked very uncomfortable. The moment that Meri sat down, Leon's body language changed. You could see the leg doing like this. You could see a little bit of fidget here and there. You could see Leon looking off to the side. Leon did not want to have this conversation. They already had a bad relationship with Meri. So Meri's sitting there giggling, asking about weddings and babies and men, and if it would be possible without a guy. To me, wasn't the best idea, especially because, as I said already, the bird already told her not to. Yet she's going straight down this path, verbatim, talking about babies and a man. She says, using her words, she didn't mean to, because at one point she says something like, it's just weird. And she's like, I didn't mean weird. I wasn't talking about weird like, you know, you and who you like. I was talking about weird as to how my feelings. And Leon says, using words like weird makes it seem like it would be weird for me to marry a woman. They don't understand how Meri doesn't get it or why she's so confused, because it's not something that's confusing. If she wants to know how she would be able to be a grandmother, how Leon would be able to have kids, there are other ways that she can go and she can figure it out. And at this point, I just wanted to get out of the chair. And if I were Leon, I would have gotten out of the chair. Meri then says, I mean, are you religious? Leon says, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. They're talking in circles, and Meri isn't getting that Leon doesn't want to talk about it. At that point, they were so disconnected that Meri didn't know what Leon was struggling with or thinking or anything. And that is on Meri. You lost your child's trust when you decided to be emotionally involved with this other person and then lie about it. You probably would have been better off had you had admitted at that point some of the problems that you were having and really been honest with your child. But Cody was able to continue to have Leon be on their side for many, many years because there was so much that Meri did not admit to Leon. Meri makes it about herself again, because she says, I want you to let me in. I'm so tired of being blocked out. And Leon says, look, you're doing this thing again where you are pushing me. And this is not what we're talking about right now. I thought you wanted to talk about me being gay, but we're talking about this relationship again. And I don't want to. I'm telling you, Leon, in my opinion, had a reason to be mad with their mom, had a reason to be disappointed with their mom, but I thoroughly feel like Leon enjoyed being mad at their mom. You all let me know. Meri is worried that things are going to stay how they are and that they'll always be an outsider. We then see this fake wedding with Solomon, and y'all, sorry for all the noise, because apparently, you know, people don't hear the honking of the horn to come outside and all those other things. I'm telling you, it's the weekend. It's a fake wedding between Solomon and his mother. He wants to marry his mom. So they do this fake wedding at a little outside amphitheater. Truly marries them. It's cute, but it's weird to me that they indulged in this. They laugh, they enjoy it, to each his own. Me personally, I wouldn't have done it. Cody talks about how with them all being in this one house, they're all really engaged with each other. We see Mykelti and Tony are about to make traditional Mexican meal, molitas, I think it was called. As he's making the flour, I'm just sitting there like, I really, really hope that he washed his hands, because Tony often looks dirty to me. He didn't look as dirty in this episode, but he just always looks dirty to me. I see him talking over the flour as he's kneading it, and I just keep thinking about all the stuff that's flying out of his mouth while he's speaking, and I'm just being grossed out. It's a lot of people in the kitchen. They couldn't figure out how to turn on the stove. Gabe and Tony had the gas on, and then at one point you heard the sound from it igniting, and fire came up, and thankfully nobody was hurt. Y'all, excuse me. Yes, I did adjust this wig. It's not glued down. I don't know if I'm going to stick with this hairstyle or if I'm going to leave my hair out. So just don't mind me. I probably should take that out, but this is me, y'all. This is me. Okay. The gas was on, the flame was lit. We then see Tony put an oven pan on the gas stove because he's gonna cook the molitas, which is like the tortilla, on the stove. And I'm concerned at this point because Christina's like, you can't cook with that on the stove. That's not made for the stove. That's made for the oven. I can try to see if I can find you a griddle. I don't understand how he didn't realize it was the right thing, considering how when he put it on the stove, you can see the burn marks appearing on top of the surface, which means that you're burning something. I don't think that's supposed to be on the molita. But she says, let me find a griddle. They end up finding something. She admits to being nervous when Tony and Mykelti are around. She worries about liking him. I'm going to let it go that he burnt this pan because he seemed stressed while he was preparing this meal. And it's for the whole family. That is a lot of pressure. Christine says, I guess Tony's mom has been helping Mykelti learn how to make some things in the kitchen, because beforehand, Mykelti was terrifying in the kitchen, that she's ruined so many recipes. And we see, as she's saying this, Mykelti's taking stuff off the grill. She seems to be doing fine. But we see yet another person using their hands to prepare this food while talking, because Brianna is preparing the guacamole. And I'm like, okay, why are you doing this with your hands? Now, I've been told before that I'm very particular when it comes to certain things like preparing food. And while watching this episode, I was cringing left and right because her hair is flowing. She's talking. The bowl is right here. Her little dirty young hands are all in the stuff. And I'm just grossed out. Now, I'm talking junk here, but please understand that even when I prepare food for my family, I have gloves for washing dishes, and I have disposable latex gloves for when I'm dealing with certain meats and stuff. As you can see, look at my nails. Nail polish all chipped up. Why? Because I can't do gel polish anymore because I found out I was allergic to it. So guess what happens? The nail polish chips. Who wants to have clean hands and chip nail polish in their food? These are just the things that I think of. And, you know, it's just me. So I'm seeing her and I'm like, why didn't you give her a spoon to prepare this guacamole? This is so disgusting and weird to me. Anyways, she prepares it. They say Tony adores Mykelti and he loves her for who she is. The siblings agree. They're all excited. Christine says the food was so good. That boy could cook for me anytime, which we see in later years. They have cooked together. Christine says this moment, seeing them in the kitchen with them cooking, for her cemented that they were a couple. She says they really are cute together. She thought that Mykelti wasn't being herself before because she was quiet, but this is just Mykelti being comfortable and relaxed with Tony, and she is in this point at most herself. She found someone who is perfect for her, and I agree. She did. That is sweet. Robin meets up with Meri, while she's taking a stroll with Solomon, they talk about the conversation that Leon and Meri had and how it didn't go well. Robin said, on purpose, Leon is not going to stick with what's comfortable for you. So basically, Leon is going through what a lot of people go through in their teenage years. You didn't have to go through that. Now you have to. I feel like it's more than that. I feel like this had everything to do with the catfish. Meri says, I don't feel comfortable because everything that I say is wrong. Robin says, at this point, Leon is hypersensitive to you, and it's because of what's going on with you guys in your relationship. Leon is struggling with how they feel about you. So everything that you say and do is going to be wrong. You have to give Leon space and start to process these things on your own. This whole conversation is stuff that she was previously told, but for whatever reason, Meri didn't listen. Maybe now Meri will listen. Meri's going on trying not to put up a wall. She says she's going to try to make sure that she doesn't try to put up that wall to protect herself. Robin says that's awesome. But once again, this isn't about Meri. Jesus, she's annoying. You keep talking about protecting yourself. Why do you have to try to protect yourself against your child? You created this mess and you're not being honest about it. And this is why all these seasons later, we're still hearing about this catfish. Or is it because at this point, they don't have anything else to give us but a wedding and a catfish? Robin says, even with Cody, whenever he's upset, you get upset and you take it personally and you put up a wall. The bird then lets us know that she is friends with Cody and she is friends with Meri, and they both come and vent to her sometimes. And that is the problem. We're supposed to believe that these marriages are separate. But here you are venting about one wife to another, which is what he did, because he did the same thing over the years with Christine and he did the same thing with Janelle. Cody is the root cause of a lot of the issues when it comes to these women. The bird feels like she's proven time and time again that she roots for Meri and she encourages the relationship with Cody and Meri and for them to get it right. I do believe at one point that she did that, but I believe that it was solely for her benefit. Meri said, kids get to a point where they don't need you. And I'm like, I need you. And that's the problem. That is the problem. It's finally the first full day. Everyone is relaxing. Maddie and Caleb are close to the University of Wyoming now because they moved there after the wedding to a college town. Caleb says he loves having his best friend near him all the time, that she drives him to be a better person. Janelle says that he's always had a lot of character and worth ethic, but with them being married, there's something different. As they're talking about this, you see McKelty run into the glass. She comes out to tell them something, like face first. She didn't see the glass. And that glass wasn't even that clean of a glass to me. For like the Windex commercials, she's just a klutz. So she comes out, says, I like to have each one of you moms do the something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. Can't remember who had what. I know Meri had something blue. And I think Janelle had something new. Christine might have had something old and Robin might have something borrowed. I don't remember. I didn't write it down because I didn't really care. She wants to be able to walk down the aisle with the things that they gave her. I think that's sweet. Christine says, when you are in a plural marriage, it's hard for you to allow for the mother of that child to have their moment. So it's nice that, like with Maddie, McKelty's trying to own in on her own stuff and do things the way that she wants to. We have a discussion about McKelty's hair, whether it's going to be up or down. She decides it's going to be down and curly because that's what Tony wanted, and we find out he won. Janelle was a little upset at first, like, why is she wearing it down if she wanted it to be up and all those other things? And Robin says, look, McKelty can be controlled, but she's listening to him because she can't be controlled. But she's listening to him because she values his opinion, which isn't that the same thing that Cody said over the time, that he can't be controlled. But over time, we saw him be controlled in different ways because he valued other wives' opinions more than others. Tony wants both of their feelings to be considered in this wedding ceremony. Christine says it's awesome that there are parts of Cody that both Caleb and Tony have, even though they're so different. Caleb and Maddie are like Janelle and Cody, and Tony and McKelty are like her and Cody. I don't know if that's necessarily good, but that's that. We see the older kids go out. So it's Leon, Michelle, Maddie, Caleb, Aspen, Tony, McKelty, and Logan. We find out that Leon already told the siblings about being gay, which goes back to me saying if Leon wanted to inform Meri so Meri could process things, knowing how Meri is, that it could have been done, but Leon chose not to do this. Michelle and Logan talk about marriage because they're asked, when are you going to get married? And they're like, we want to put education and career first. Maddie asks about how the parents reacted. Leon says they were normal. Leon says, it isn't something I've been doing, but I've just finally, accepted it and stopped suppressing it, that it was a surprise to them, but they were supportive. Aspen says Leon came home, said she looked at Leon and was like, you have something to tell me. She asks, do you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend? Maddie laughs and says it was the same thing with them, that they weren't really surprised. Caleb said he saw it coming, and he looks at it like when he came into the family, he had a feeling that there was something there because Leon didn't seem happy. They all agree that now Leon is out. Leon looks better, seems happier, is more grounded. Leon says they do feel good and grounded, and that God doesn't make mistakes. We find out that they told Logan first via text, and that Michelle says she saw Logan tearing up, and she was like, what in the world is he tearing up for? She thought maybe somebody passed, but Logan says he was tearing up because Leon was the first person that he was the first person that Leon told, and that made him feel special. And he had no idea of it like how some of the other siblings did. Leon enjoyed dinner and felt comfortable about talking with their siblings, very different from what we saw with Meri. I feel like it's interesting that a lot of the siblings didn't pick up on it, nor did the parents, but the significant others did. It just seems like at some point it was detectable that there was something different. It's a new day. They're getting on the boats. Caleb is holding Ariella, and Robin feels like it's so natural. I want them to enjoy their marriage first before they do all this baby talk, but they do everything so quickly. Some of the people go fishing, but everyone is on the water. Truly catches a fish, and Christine is so excited and so loud. I feel like she probably scared the rest of the fish away. They come home to see who caught the biggest one. Truly wins, gets a blanket, but we find out later that Truly actually didn't win, that Caleb did. Both of his fish were much bigger, but he let her win. I think that's sweet, but if I'm honest, I probably would have popped Truly's bubble and let her know I won. Kids got to understand how it feels to lose too. I'm just saying. They sit around the campfire. They cook fish. Janelle says at this point, she only has 2 kids home, that it happened so quickly. Meri says that she's trying to work with Leon, but so many of the other kids want to be with their parents, and Leon just doesn't. Everyone is different. I look at my sister, right? My sister and I have different moms. My sister talks to her mother every day. I do not. I don't even... Yeah, I do not. I talk to my mom maybe once every other week, sometimes more. When she was going through her health stuff and everything like that, I was talking to her a whole bunch. But now my watch is synced up to my mom, so I get alerted with her exercising. Her security system is synced up to my phone and stuff, so I see her coming in and coming out. There are ways for me to check on my mom without me having to speak to her. Now, my dad, I talk to him sometimes every week, sometimes throughout the week. It just varies, but I hear from my dad at least once a week. But me and my father are very close. Does that mean if my father doesn't hear from me for a month that there's an issue? No, life happens, but Meri takes everything so personally. The parents talk about how much the kids have grown. Maddie said Cody when she was little could pick her husband, and McKelty was into everything, and Leon had the biggest cheeks with magical confidence. Meri feels like it takes a strong person to own who they are, and that confidence that Leon had definitely came into play when they decided to come out. And she's proud. That was basically the end of the episode. To me, Leon was the only child that always asserted that they wanted polygamy and that they were so deeply involved with the church. There was a complete change in the realization that none of their children now wanted to be polygamous, because at that point, Leon was the only one who wanted to. Robin says that she would accept her child, no hesitation, if the child was gay, but she would feel bad for them because their life would be tough. This is what she said over the years. She, in my opinion, was just happy that it wasn't her kid. Meri's moment of shock is understandable because, as I said, for years, Leon was all about polygamy. I like to think of myself as an open-minded mom, as an open-minded person, and I too would probably need a moment to process things if I saw for all these years that my son was this one way. He went to college and came back and tells me that he wants something completely opposite of what we spoke to prior, which can happen. But it may take a moment to process, especially if Meri says she didn't see the signs, okay? Meri now has made it clear to me that she is in Leon's corner and that she is Leon's #1 fan. I say this because of what has transpired now. She respects their child's choice and love, and she respects their identity. She does not care about what happened as far as the upbringing when it comes to her child. That's more significant to me than anything that Robin and Cody did in this episode. Robin and Cody were very smart. They were smart enough to know that they probably could never express their true feelings in regards to this because they were on camera, which makes me question, have we ever met any of these friends, these many, many friends that were a part of the LGBTQIA plus community? I noticed that Robin wasn't invited to the Women's March that we've seen Leon do, or show up to prior pride parades. These are all places and things that we've seen Meri do. At one point, Meri even had the symbol of the flag on her bread and breakfast, I believe. I know that Janelle has done things in support. So has Christine. They support Leon and Gwen presently. But do Cody and Robin? As I said before, in my opinion, there's a difference between acceptance and tolerance. And I feel like a lot of what we saw in this episode from some of the parents was acceptance, and from others, it was tolerance. This was long, but this was also a long episode. Let me know what you think down below. Until Thursday.